Hi everyone, my name is Juan Pablo from Español and English Private Tutoring. Today I'm going to talk about adjectives, basically possessive adjectives and superlative, comparative adjectives. I'm going to talk also about adverbs, adjectives of nationality, and other things. But I only going to concentrate on things that books and courses normally don't teach, and that can sometimes be confusing for new learners. If you are a student, please follow the book. I'm going to mention some pages for you to go to. We are going to use a book called um, Easy Spanish Step by Step. Yeah, it's called Easy Spanish Step by Step by Barbara Bernstein. If you have the book, please take notes. I'm going to tell you to what page to go and take notes on those pages. If you're a student, you're not a student, you're going to learn something new today that you may not know, because what I'm going to explain is normally not explained in books and courses. Okay, so first, let's go to page 102 for those that are students. On page 102, you're going to see there that the possessive adjectives, adjetivos posesivos, that's in Spanish, su and sus, can translate into many different things into English. Okay, so according to the book, it translates as your, but the book says usted form, which is correct but not completely. Okay, so both of these can translate as your, but it can also be plural. Okay, I can refer to you in English to your car, like you all car, not just one person. It's the same Spanish. So when I say your car, it can be singular or it can be plural. The singular is considered second person formal, singular. If I say your all of you's car, that will be second person plural, not singular. So basically, su and usted refer to the usted singular form or the ustedes singular form, plural form. Another important thing here to keep in mind is that su and sus, as the book says, can translate as he, her, their. In other words, su and sus is extremely confusing, it's ambiguous because if you, for example, give me this sentence. You say this, su carro, okay? Su here can refer to multiple things. This can translate as your car, you all car. It can translate as his car, her car, their car masculine, their car feminine. So su, in this case, has 6 different grammatical persons. Okay? 6 different grammatical persons. It will be second person formal, singular, first one. Second person plural. It could be third person singular masculine, third person singular feminine. It can also be third person plural masculine, and it can be also third person plural feminine. Because of this, the book says that we need to use a formula to explain, to clarify this. And according to the book, to cover, let's say that I'm trying to say your car. Oh no, let's do another one that is better. Let's say his car. So according to the book, you have to use the formula noun plus noun plus the plus pronoun. So let's try first with this formula. Let's say that I'm trying to say his car. This case will be, I will put here, well, I'm going to explain this later. It will be el carro de él. Spanish. El carro de él. Yeah? So this in English is like saying his car, but his car in English is not ambiguous, but in Spanish it is because su. So to clarify this, instead of saying his car, you will say the car of he. That's a direct translation from Spanish to English. So that's how we say it to clarify. Now, the other thing is that I can also say sus carros. In English will be his cars. Sus is also ambiguous because it can refer to your, plural, singular, he, his, and so on. So let's do this. Let's do this following the formula. So it will be noun los carros de él. Now, notice here that even though sus is plural, is referring to he, which is singular. Okay? So this possessive adjective has nothing to do with the number of the pronoun we are using. You see, the pronoun here is singular. Still, this is plural because this is an adjective which is describing the word cars, not the pronoun he. Okay, so sus has to agree in number with the noun it is describing. The thing, what the book is not explaining, I'm going to give, before I continue, I'm going to give you another example here so you notice what is happening here. This can also mean, let's use third person plural here. So it will be su carro. In English, it will be their car. Okay. So let's use the formula to clarify this. Los carros de ellos. Notice the su is singular, but still we are talking about several people. As I said before, su and sus have nothing to do with the pronoun. They agree in number only with the noun they are describing. So carro here is singular, so this one has to be singular as well. Okay, now I'm going to explain something else. This formula the book is giving you is extremely simplified. So things can be much more complex than this. So I'm going to give you a better formula. So a better formula, it will be determinante. And I can explain this one. Determinante with determinant in English. Determinante, noun, or nouns. You can also have several nouns here. Plus the plus pronoun, pronouns, pronouns. I can also use a name or names. Okay, or names. I can also use nouns, a noun or nouns. Pronouns, names, nouns. Yeah. So this is more a more complete version of the formula, which is the same in English. In English, you can say Carla and Juan's cars. You can say Carla and Juan's car. Okay. You can also say Carla and Juan's car and bicycle. You see? So let's do Carla and Juan's car and bicycle. So it'll be su carro y bicicleta. So I'm using this part here. But still, this is ambiguous. So I need to clarify it now. Then let's use the form. For the carro bicicleta. In this case will be el carro y bicicleta de Carlos y Juana. Bicicleta. So what is a determinant? Determinant is any word that helps give more meaning to the noun. So it could be an article. It could be a demonstrative adjective. It can be another adjective that can go after before the noun, and so on. In this case, I keep it simple, so I'm only using an article. Okay, and I'm going to point it out here. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's put it in here so let's see what we have. Okay, there you go. Now let's go with nouns. So the nouns here is el carro y la bicicleta. Okay. Then we had the preposition de here. this program. Maybe later, I think you have the ELT. Okay. Working. So now, pronouns, names or nouns. In this case, I'm using names, Carlos y Juan. Maybe this will have a little. El carro y bicicleta de Carlos. Okay, so you can see this will be a better formula because it's more, it includes more things. Um, that's it for page 102. Let's go to page 104. And here we're going to talk about demonstrative adjectives. So, so in the book, they are explaining that ese, esos, esa, and esas, which ese means that, those, that feminine, those feminine. Ese, these two are the masculine forms. And basically they are used as adjectives before the noun. Example, ese carro, ese carro, carro is masculine, so ese has to agree with carro, and so on. Okay, so the thing here is that the book says that these are only used when the object, the noun, person, animal, or thing is near the listener, but is not completely true. You can be next to me, and I say to you, and I can say to you, that car over there, no? Far from both of us. So that what the book is saying here is not necessarily correct. It is correct, but it can also be far from both the speaker and the listener. The next one is aquel, aquellos, aquella, and aquello. So we're going to put it here. So aquel, aquellos, aquella, and aquellos. Aquel also means that. Aquellos means those, masculine. Both of these are masculine. They have to agree with the noun they are describing. Aquella is feminine and also means that but feminine. And aquellas is those feminine. They are only used for nouns that are feminine. So the book says that these four are only used when the noun or person, animal, or thing is far from both the speaker and listener. And that is correct. So that's the difference between the one that I explained before, ese, esa, esos, and esas, that can be for both, can be used in both cases. That means both far from the speaker and the listener, or just near the listener. But this one is only used when is the person or thing is far from both the speaker and listener. Example, I can say that car over there. I cannot say to you that car over there when the car is next to you, even though I'm far from you, which is the same meaning. Next, on page 105, neural demonstrative pronouns. What the book is explaining here is correct. Now try to think, what is the difference between a demonstrative adjective and a neural demonstrative pronoun or a demonstrative pronoun? And I'm going to explain this, I'm going to give you an example. Esa casa. This is the first sentence. Esa casa es grande. Second one. Eso es grande. Okay. On the first one, esa is an adjective describing the word casa. But eso is not an adjective, it's a pronoun because it's replacing an idea, it's replacing an object that is not describing the sentence, or it's just a general statement. Okay? That's why it's a pronoun. Pronouns normally replace something in the sentence. Adjectives describe. Now, the book is only showing you neural demonstrative pronouns, but there are more pronouns. So, neural demonstrative pronouns do not have gender, but we do have demonstrative pronouns that have gender, which I'm not going to explain in this lesson because we will learn this later in higher levels. Now, in the same page, the book talks about adjectives for nationality. It's going to give us and give an example. El restaurante español. Restaurante español. Español, so this is like saying the Spanish restaurant. So español, Spanish, which is an adjective for nationality. These adjectives for nationality go after the noun they are describing and agree in gender and number with the noun they describe. But these adjectives can also be they can also be nouns. They can also be used. You can also use them as nouns. Example, in English, you can say the Spanish man, or the Spanish is in the restaurant. Well, I think you don't say like that. You say in English, the Spanish man is in the restaurant, which is correct. But let's try to think of this sentence in Spanish. El español está en el restaurante. The thing is that you don't have this in English because you have to say the Spanish man to clarify the gender. But we do not because these nouns have gender in Spanish. Español is masculine. And if I want to say the female Spanish, the Spanish woman will be la española. Let's put your sentences. So, second sentence would be la española está en el restaurante. You see? So el español, we know already that is masculine. La española, we know already that is feminine. So we don't have to clarify that. Because of the reason, español y española are nouns. They are not adjectives. They are not describing anything. Okay. Also, you know that is a noun because before the noun, español, for example, there is an article. Adjectives do not use articles. On page 108, we are going to talk about adjectives that precede the noun. So normally adjectives in Spanish go after the noun they describe, but not always. It can also go before the noun they describe. So the book is saying, bueno, okay. Bueno is an adjective which means good. Good. And according to the book, I can do this in two ways. I can say el buen restaurante, or I can also say el restaurante bueno. El buen restaurante o el restaurante bueno. So this adjective doesn't always go before the noun it describes. It can also go after. But notice this. If you put it before the noun and the noun is masculine, you drop the O. If it goes after the noun, you don't drop the O. Keep it as it is. With the feminine form, you don't have to worry about it. It will be, you just follow the normal rules for the adjectives. So the thing here is that these these two ideas are different. In conversation, the first option is more common, but you can also use the second one. But the first one has a higher tone, and the second one has a lower tone. Okay? El buen restaurante could mean in English like the nice restaurant, and the one at the bottom could mean the good restaurant. So nice restaurant has a little more tone to it than good. Mm. Now, in English, you can say the good friend, or you can say the nice friend. No. So when I'm saying nice, I'm saying as a person. Doesn't mean necessarily that he's a good friend, but he's a friend, he's a person that is good. So what is the difference here? So to say, for example, the good friend, you will say el buen amigo. And this is something the book doesn't explain. But what do you want to say the friend that is good? Okay. El amigo bueno. So when you use it with people, you have to be careful because it will change the meaning depending on where you place it. Okay. But this refers mostly to relationships, friendship, and things like that, not necessarily just to people. So on the first one, what I'm saying is that the good friend, meaning that this person is a good friend, someone you can trust or something like that. But the second one doesn't mean the good friend. The second one means the friend that is good as a person. It doesn't mean necessarily that person is good as a friend, but is a good person. It says these two are not the same in Spanish. Now let's go to adjectives that express quantity. I'm going to talk only about mucho. So mucho. So mucho is a special adjective that goes always before the noun it describes. Okay, example, tiene mucho dinero. This means he has a lot of money. But you can instead of saying he has a lot of money, you can say he has a lot. It's not a complete sentence, but we can use it that way too. Or maybe that is a lot. That's a better example. Eso, eso. On the first sentence, mucho is acting as an adjective describing the noun dinero, which is masculine singular. So remember, adjectives have to agree in gender and number with the noun they are describing, following all the rules related to adjectives, which I'm not going to explain here. But if you're not a student, you can check that on your own, or go to our channel and check more videos there. But mucho here is not an adjective. This is an indefinite pronoun. There's a difference between saying in English a lot of versus a lot. A lot is not an adjective. It is a indefinite pronoun, which is replacing something. And the second one, that is a lot is referring to something that is not explained in the sentence or is replacing something that is the person animal. On page 109, let's go with another adjective here that is not well explained. Alguno. So according to the book, it means some, but in some cases, uh, I'm going to put this example here. Necesito algo. Sentence. The second sentence is this. Va a volver algún día. The third sentence is ¿hay alguna farmacia cerca? ¿Alguna farmacia? So according to the book, this means some, but not always. It will mean some in the second one. Él va a volver algún día. He's going to come back someday. Algún is acting as an adjective describing the word day. Okay, day is masculine, algún is masculine singular, day is singular as well. Necesito tomar algo de dinero. Now, in here, algo is not acting as an adjective anymore. In this case, it's an indefinite pronoun. This is the same in English. I need to take some water. Okay. I'm sorry, it's not a pronoun, it's an adverb. It's acting as an adverb. So algo is describing the verb. Adverbs describe verbs or adjectives. To drink some. This is the same in English, to drink some. Some is referring to the verb to drink. And in this one, it has a different meaning. I'm sorry, alguna farmacia. In this case, ¿hay alguna farmacia cerca? It would mean, is there any nearby pharmacy? So, alguno can also mean any. Let's go now to page 110. We're going to talk about adjectives that express adjectives whose meaning depends on position. So the example they're giving you there for antiguo. And the sentence is su antiguo no. Su antiguo no. If you place it before the noun, it means former, her former boyfriend. Okay. First one. The second one will be Messi civilización antigua. Civilización antigua. So before the noun, former. After the noun, it means ancient. So una civilización, an ancient civilization. Now, the same as in English, if you use it before the noun, you can only use it with people. You won't say her former dog or her former house. It's the same in English. An ancient civilization, you don't use this with animals or people either. Well, you don't use this with people or animals. You don't say an ancient dog or an ancient person. It's only for things. Let's go now to page 111. And I'm going to explain I'm going to explain viejo. So the first sentence the book is giving here is los viejos amigos. Which means the long-time friends, los viejos. Second sentence would be los amigos viejos. If you place it after the noun, it means old in age. The friends that are old. That's what it means. Now, the thing is that viejo, if you use it for age, can be offensive, especially if you say this to a woman or women. So be careful with using this with people if you don't know them. A better adjective if you want to refer to age will be, instead of this one, viejos, will be mayor de edad, like saying elder is more respectful. So a better option for the second would be los amigos mayores de edad. That would be better one for the second. So in this case, the first one, the long time friends, the same as in English, you only use this for people, not for animals or things. Now, I'm going to give you another example here. El carro viejo. El viejo. El carro viejo means the old car. I said that viejo can only be used in only you can only use it for people. But I'm using it here with a thing, which is a car. If you do that, it will not mean long time something. It will mean still old. So the third one and fourth one are exactly the same sentence, have exactly the same meaning. The third one means the old car, the fourth one means the old car, exactly the same. So you can switch it back and forth if you want, but it will not change the meaning if you use it with things. Carro viejo, el viejo carro. Good. The third one is more common in conversation. Now, I'm going to give you another one here. La planta vieja. Sí, es la mata vieja. La mata vieja. La vieja mata vieja. So plants in Spanish are considered, this is like the old plant, and the sixth one is exactly the old plant. So plants in Spanish are considered things, just with the purpose of grammar, for the purpose of grammar. Now let's come with another one. El perro viejo. The old dog. I'm going to give you another one. El viejo perro. Okay. Now here you can think that because it's a dog, in both cases, the 7 and the 8 will mean old, the old dog, but it's not. When it comes to animals, we only use viejo after the noun, not before the noun. That means that the A one is incorrect. We cannot do that with them. Let's go to page 14. Now I'm going to talk about superlative adjectives. So the book is giving you a formula here that is extremely simplified. So I'm going to give you a sentence the way they are doing it here. El más alto de la familia. The tallest in the family. Okay. But in English, you can also say here, Carla is the tallest in the family. No? You don't say just the tallest in the family. You say Carla is the tallest in the family. So I'm going to give you a better formula for this. I'm going to improve the formula they are giving you there. So the book is saying that you should use el or la. These are singular articles, but that is not true. You can also use plural articles, and you don't always have to use articles. You can also use other determinants, adjectives like demonstrative adjectives, and so on, as long as it makes sense in the sentence. The book is also saying that you use one adjective. You don't have to use one adjective. You can use several adjectives in the same sentence, which is the same idea in English. So Carla is the tallest and most intelligent woman in the family. I'm using two adjectives. And after that, you have the. Okay? So a better formula will be determinante. Determinant is Spanish. Um, determinante plus noun, noun or nouns. Noun or nouns. When I say nouns, well, and I'm going to give you a different formula, but noun can be a person, animal, or thing. And you can also add this level, okay, I'm going to put it here, personal names as well. Well, I'm not going to include personal names here because the construction is a little different. Let's leave it like that one. Determinant, noun or nouns. You can use must or you can use menos. Plus adjective or adjectives plus the. This will be a better formula. Well, what if I want to say the dog and the most intelligent and big cat and dog in the family would be el gato, gato y perro más inteligente y grande de la familia. El gato y perro más inteligente y grande de la familia. So L is a determinant, in this case an article. Noun, nouns, I'm using two nouns here, gato y perro, más or menos, which is a superlative. Adjectives, inteligente y grande, y de. Now, this is something you don't have in English, you have to memorize it. But a good way to memorize this is to translate it directly from Spanish to English so you understand the structure. Will be the cat and dog most intelligent and big of. That's how we say it. You just have to learn this formula. Now I said I don't have to use an article here. I can also say I can use a possessive adjective if I want. Your uh, his car, his cat, and dog. Well, that would change it. Let's leave it like that. Let's going to change the formula because that will change the structure. I'm going to explain that later. I can use el, la, but let's keep it as articles. Definite articles. Lo, a las. El, la, los, las. Es que I'm using el. The thing here is that There are many other ways to do this. Another formula for this is to not use they. Instead of they, use a verb. And that can happen if the superlative adjective is part of the subject of the sentence. Example, the most intelligent and big cat and dog are in the house. I'm going to put it here. So the second formula will be, this is the first formula. The second formula could be this one. Plus verb. I'm going to give you the example. It will be el gato. El gato y perro más inteligente y grande están en la casa. En la casa. El gato y perro más inteligente y grande están en la casa. So we have this. Now, what if you want to say your cat and dog are the most intelligent and big animals in Philadelphia? Put a sentence here first. Su carro, su perro y gato son los más inteligentes y grandes en Filadelfia. Perro y gato son los gatos son los más inteligentes y grandes. So this is still superlative, but the superlative here is part of the predicate of the sentence. This is the subject. Your dog and cat are. Okay. Son. When the subject is your pair and your dog and cat, which is third person plural, then comes the verb conjugate in third person plural. And after that, we have the superlative. Here, I don't have to explain that I'm talking about a dog and cat. In English, you will say your dog and cat are, the dog and cat are the most intelligent and big cat and dog in Philadelphia. You don't have to say all of that. You just say it once because it's already in the subject. Here is when you can abbreviate the superlative. So here is where you use the form that the book is giving. See, okay, put it here. So when the noun is understood or nouns are understood, then you use a more simple formula would be um, like that. This is the one that book teaches. Su perro y gato son los más inteligentes y grandes. Grandes. Let's keep it like that to not complicate things. Let's keep it in the way the book says. Su perro y gato son los más inteligentes y grandes. So los is the article, más is the superlative. Inteligentes y grandes are the adjectives. And then we have the son los más inteligentes y grandes. Now, if you are referring to a location inside of a location, you can change the with N. Good. I think that's all. Let's go to page 115. So let's talk about viejo. This is an adjective that can be used with the superlative and comparative form of this adjective, which the book doesn't. There's something the book doesn't explain. So viejo means can mean you want to say older, will be mayor. You want to say the oldest, singular, will be el mayor, la mayor, the masculine or feminine. You want to say the oldest, plural, will be los mayores, las mayores. Now, what the book doesn't explain is that mayor can have different meaning. It can mean older, but it can also mean something else depending on how you use it. Example. Él tiene la mayor cantidad de dinero. Él tiene la mayor cantidad de dinero. He has uh, more money than anybody else. Kind of the idea is, or he has the most quantity of money. So when mayor is referring to quantity, it refers is not it doesn't translate as older, it means the most. Él tiene, bueno, this will be the superlative. La mayor cantidad. So I'm sorry, so it will be this will be the superlative, not the comparative. So mayor shouldn't be there. It should be, this example shouldn't be here. It should be para the superlative. So it should be here. So la mayor. La mayor. So when you use these superlatives here, these ones or these ones, with quantity, it doesn't mean the oldest. It means the most. He has the most quantity of money. That's a direct translation from Spanish. On page 16, 116, exercise 8.6. I'm going to explain number 7. This is a small mistake, but let's change the sentence to health is oh, let's try to do something. I'm going to put it in the way it is in the book and you tell me what is wrong with this sentence. You can pause the video and try to figure it out before you see the sentence, or you can skip a little bit ahead while you write the sentence. Okay. Ella es blanquear, pero él no es el estudiante. Es estudiante blanco de la clase. And the book is asking you to use taller versus tallest. So on the first one, you are supposed to say taller. The second one, you're supposed to say tallest. Okay, come up with the answer and then try to understand the sentence in English and tell me what is wrong with the sentence. Okay. I'm going to give you the answer now. Ella es más alta que él, pero él no es el estudiante más alto de la clase. Ella es más alta que él, pero él no es el estudiante más alto de la clase. Now, this sentence is wrong because this is what I'm saying in English. She is taller than him, but he is not the tallest student in class. Okay? But he is, so the comparison is, we are saying that she is the tallest, not he. So it doesn't make sense. So to make it better, let's change it to él and ella. Change this to él and ella. So now in English, it will make more sense. It will be he's taller than her, but he is not the tallest student in class. Let's go to page 117 and number 29. Vendo, and we're going to do this one together. So start and que compro. And start the video before you see the answer, try to figure it out, and then continue to check the answer. Vendo. So the answer here is menos. Okay. Vendo menos cigarros. Vendo menos cigarrillos que compro. Now, the thing is that this sentence is also wrong. With this one, I'm going to help you because this is advanced grammar and it's something that I may explain later, but not today because it's more complex. Yeah. Vendo menos cigarrillos que lo que lo que compro. You're going to add lo que to this sentence. This in English is I sell more cigars than what I buy. I sell less cigars than what I buy. What here is what is called a relative pronoun. It's a neutral relative pronoun. This is something we'll learn later. Let's go now to page 119. Page 119, we're going to talk about adverbs of time and place. According to the book, todavía means still or yet. The thing is that the book is saying that todavía also translates into English as no, not yet, which is not correct. You want to say no, not yet, it will be like this in Spanish. No. Todavía no. No, not yet. But what if you want to say not yet? You don't have to say no, not yet. You can say not yet. So it'll be just todavía no. According to the book, allí and allá are synonyms. So allí and allá are synonyms. According to the book, this translates as there, which is pretty close, it's correct, but they are not always synonyms. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. And why? So I'm going to give you an example. Ella está allí. Ella está allá en España. Ella está allá en España. On the first one, what I'm saying is she's there. On the second, what I'm saying is she's there in Spain. Now, the difference between allí and allá, which you don't have in English, is that allí is only used for things that are far from the speaker, but not so far that the speaker can see or point out to. So if I say allí, it's like saying in English, she's over there. Like I can point out with my finger where she's at. Or I can see her, and the listener can also see her. But if I am in Philadelphia and say Spain, I'm not going to be able to see her from here, from Philadelphia. In that case, we have to use allá. Allá is used for people, animals or things that are extremely far. We can see. Now, I said that allá can be a synonym of allí under certain circumstances. And this is because allá is more flexible. Allá can be used for things that are far from the speaker, but that are not that far that the speaker cannot see or point out to, or it can be used for things that are extremely far. So the first one, I can also write it as this, allá, and both are correct. And this, the first one, obviously, if this is a conversation, I pointing out to the personal or to clarify. Now, allí can also be a synonym of allá if allí is acting as a pronoun, replacing a location. Okay, that means allí can be used for extremely far objects, things, or animals, but only if they replace that person, animal, or thing. I'm going to give you a third example. Ella se fue a España ayer y va a estar allí por 2 años. Ella se fue a España ayer y va a estar allí por 2 años. Okay. When I say allí, I'm referring to Spain. If I am in Philadelphia, I'm referring to Spain. I can't see Spain from here. Still, I'm using allí. The reason why is because allí is replacing the word Spain. It's acting as a pronoun. It's another, but it's replacing the word Spain. This in English will be, she left for Spain yesterday, and she's going to be there for 2 years. There means Spain. And I also explained that allá is flexible, so you can also use allá. So if you're not sure about which one to use, just stick with allá because allá is more flexible. Another thing that I want to explain here is al fondo. Al fondo, which according to the book means in back at the bottom. Which is not always correct. I'm going to give you an example. Por favor, siga al fondo del corredor y haga una derecha. Por favor, siga al fondo del corredor y haga una derecha. Fondo del corredor. Please continue to the end of the hallway and make a right. When it comes to directions, it can also mean to the end of something. Now, what about location? Ella está al fondo del corredor. fondo del corredor. Is at the end of the hall. This is indeed, the first one is indicating a location. The second one is the first one is indicating directions. It's giving a direction. And the second one is talking about location. Now, when it comes to a location, instead of saying el, I can change the preposition and say something different. It está en el fondo del corredor. And can also be used, is more popular for locations than a. So this is another version. You're going to use it for locations. There's this one. Third one. Ella está en el fondo de la piscina. Está al fondo de la piscina. Let's keep it in the window por piscina. Está al fondo de la piscina. This doesn't mean at the end of. This means at the bottom of. She's in the bottom. She's at the bottom of the pool. Okay. Now, a star in this case is being used for location, so I can also use en. When you're going to say at the bottom of, you can also say en el fondo. It's kind of saying in English, in the bottom of. You can also say this, and this is more common in Spanish than at. Está en el fondo de la piscina. I'm going to give you one more. Por favor, vaya al fondo de la piscina. Por favor, vaya al fondo. Okay. Now, in this case, we are not talking about location. We are talking about movement. Please go to the bottom of the pool. Okay? We are talking about movement. If that's the case, it will be to the bottom of al fondo. Okay? So, if we are using this adverb with verbs of movement, you use al fondo. You are using it with a verb related to location, you use it. It's mostly common to use it with NL. And that's it. So the book is saying here that a car and a jar are usually used with verbs of motion, which is correct, but the book is saying usually. You can also use other verbs. For example, ella está acá. She's here. The verb to be is not a verb of motion. Or you can say ella está allá. So both are correct. With verse motion, I'm going to give you an example. Por favor, venga acá. Por favor, venga acá. Please come here. Come is a verb of motion. What you are not allowed to do, is the following. Por favor, venga. Por favor, venga aquí. The fourth one may be correct, but it's not very common in conversation. Por favor, venga aquí. Por favor, venga acá. Acá is more common. And I'm going to give you another one. Por favor, vaya allí. Por favor, vaya allí. The fifth sentence is incorrect. Allí cannot be used with verbs of motion. In this case, you have to use allá instead. Adverbs of direction. The book says derecho, recto mean straight ahead in English, which is correct. But I'm going to give you another one that is very common. De frente. De frente also means straight ahead. Now, so we have derecho, we have recto, and we have de frente. All of these mean straight ahead. But there is a problem here with derecho, because derecho sounds very similar to derecha. Derecha. These two sound very similar. So if you're on a car giving directions to a driver, and you say derecho, the driver may understand derecha and make a right instead of continuing straight. So if that's the case, it's better to use recto or de frente because they are more clear. Let's go to page 121. Number 11. Number 11, they're giving you the following sentence to translate into Spanish. These trees are older than those trees over there. You can try it on your own if you want before you see the answer. Pause the video. Okay, but I want to say something here. So in English, you can say these trees are older than those trees over there. You can also say these trees are older than those trees. You don't have to say over there, yeah? Which is the same in English, the same in Spanish. But if you want to say over there after the noun, you have to use the preposition de plus the adverb you want to use. For example, in this case, you're saying over there, it would be de allá. Okay. So if I want to translate the sentence here, will be esos árboles son más viejos que aquellos, or, que no soy say esos árboles de allá. Que aquellos árboles de allá. Esos árboles son más viejos. Those trees are older than those trees. Yeah, los árboles son más viejos que aquellos árboles de allá. So try to think, what type of word is this? Any of these two? What type of word is this one? Put the video, and when you're ready, continue. So these two are adjectives, but this one is an adverb. They are adjectives because they are describing the word trees. And this one is an adverb of location. And you can say, and so this is a way to emphasize the same in English. But remember, I don't have to say this. I don't have to say over there. Say this, and that's it. Now in English, you can say, over there is the pool. Yeah? In this case, over there is not acting as an adverb anymore. It's acting as a noun referring to a location. So in this case, is the subject of the sentence. So you want to say over there is the pool, will be allá está la piscina. So in this case, over there doesn't translate into Spanish as de allá. It will just translate as allá. This can also be a noun. Allá está la piscina. I'm sorry, the adverb. This is an adverb, but it can go to be a noun. But I had to double check this. From what I'm seeing, this is acting as a pronoun, replacing a specific location, but it could be another because it's referring to the verb. So I'm not completely sure about this. In other videos, maybe later I will explain more of this. But the thing that you need to understand is that over there, if it is part of the subject and there is a verb after, doesn't translate as de allá. Let's go to page 122. So on page number 14, it says, are you going to our party on Friday? Begins at 9 o'clock at night. So that's a correct sentence. But are you going is progressive tense. Okay. We haven't learned progressive tense yet, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but let's change the sentence to make it easier for the students that are following this course. Instead of saying, are you going, it changes to, are you going to come to our party on Friday? There's something that if you're a student, you have already learned and you should know how to do it. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. If we don't, because we are very busy, maybe our students will answer. You are a student, you know what to do to answer, to ask questions to your teacher. And if you are interested in learning Spanish and you are not a student, you can go to our website at espeng.net and register there for classes. We have classes online and in person. Okay, thank you for watching again. If you like this video, give it a like and share. Have a good day. Okay.